Hello again, everybody, and on behalf of the All-Star Football Officials Association Training Committee, I'd like to welcome you to this week's training video. This training video is being made is being made following the first week of the season. So we have a couple plays that we want to go over. We had some pretty good film come in. We'll take a look at some things that have shown up through the first week. Again, we've had a lot of training going on over the past couple weeks, so I've kind of put off making these videos in the meantime. But now that we finally kicked off, we've got some games under our belt. We do have some plays that we want to look at, and some of these are themes that were common in most, if not all, of the games, and some of them are just some crazy plays and a few good things here and there that we want to take a look at. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, first thing we want to talk about this week is formations. I know you've had it pounded to your head the last couple weeks, months about formations. No man's land. You've heard it 100 times. We've shoved it down your throat with the fire hose. But in this case, we just want to talk. There are actually two things I'm going to talk about. First thing being the formation. Right here, we basically got a balance set. You've got double tights. There's your 5 on the line right there. Tight end. Receiver back here, he's being punched off. Receiver, he's clearly off. He's being punched off. All right. So don't overthink things. Do not overthink it. Right here, this is a tight end who wants to be on the line. Let's do what we can to make it legal. And again, all the stuff we've been talking about in the offseason with an H-back, we're talking about an H-back. An H-back is a back. He's a back who wants to be a back, but he's kind of disguising himself and making himself look like a tight end on the line. This guy is just the opposite, both of these, tight end on both sides. These are tight ends who want to be on the line of scrimmage, same as the tackles. These guys want to be on the line of scrimmage. So when we talk about make it legal, we can finally make this legal. It looks like here, his head is right there on his behind, just like the rest of them. He's a little bit deep, I agree with you, but he's on it. We need to make him on the line right there. He's not deceiving anybody. He's an eligible number. He's a tight end, wants to be on the line. Same thing on the other side. So this case, a good job. Punch him off. Make this legal. Again, all the stuff we talked about in the past was H-back. So please don't confuse these. Don't confuse that with two receivers out here. All that kind of stuff. I know we've talked about it a lot, so I won't go too much into it, but also right here, just something to make you aware of, this tackle right here, center guard tackle right here, is wearing number 42. So right off the rip, we've got illegal numbering, so we should have a flag. So umpire, referee, heck, if the line guys see it, if a deep guy sees it, whatever, I don't want to, obviously, deep guy throwing for illegal formation, but we need to be communicating this. If we see 42 and as a tackle, we need to be looking around and make sure they have 5 off the line, or 5 on the line, 50 to 79. In this case, they don't, so we need to have a flag for illegal numbering here. Doesn't do any good if we're checking out all this, worried about the line of scrimmage, and we're missing 42 on the line. So, again, just keep that in mind going forward. There's plenty of film and some other stuff out there about the H-back and illegal formation, but let's not overthink it. Again, apologize for cramming down your throat the last couple of weeks, but don't make it any more complicated than it needs to be. All right, next play. This is a pretty easy one. Once they come set, I'll pause it, and that's really all we need to see. Pretty easy for 5 in the backfield. I don't know. I'm assuming he was supposed to be over here, but either way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's obvious. Again, he's not punched off because your guy on the end of the line's here, so should be pretty easy. 2 flags here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Let's get 2 flags. And even if it's early, this is not a warning. This is just a goof on their part. So we need to go ahead and catch this. Should have flags from both sides. But pretty easy one, even early, late in the game, no matter what. Stay focused, and let's make sure we get these every time. All right, I found a line of scrimmage play, formation, whatever you want to call it, that we want to talk about here. This one here is not quite as obvious as the last one. Same game, obviously, but not quite as obvious as the last one. You'll see him come out here, and we'll pause it. okay, we're getting close here, but again, he back, quarterback, back. There's 4. This guy right here makes 5, right? So we've got 5 in the backfield. What we need to make sure we do is he's outside. We need to punch him off. And by punching him off, we let the guy, the line judge down here in this case, by punching him off like we should, we let the line judge know that, okay, he does have him in the backfield. He can count. He knows these 4, and he knows you put him off, that's 5. That way we have 2 flags. Punch him back. That way we can tell on film that you've got him off. The coach, when he watches film, knows that you didn't put him on, you had him off. And it kind of leaves no doubt as to what the flag's for. So in this case, you'll see we do a good job. We get the call right. We have a flag, but again, going back, we should have had him punched off. That way we could have had 2 flags, and it would have been pretty obvious to everybody there what was going on here. So again, good job catching the foul, but let's make sure we use our mechanics and communicate well so that we leave no doubt as to what we got going on out there. All right, let's talk about kickoffs for just a second. Pretty standard kick, kicking from the 40. Not much to it, but what is going to happen here, as you'll see, this ball kicks on over here, goes out of bounds. So as it goes out of bounds, we know we got a flag. And let me back that up. So I'll get to where we need to be and pause it right here. But kick out of bounds, should be stopping the clock, and we've got a flag. So, all right, so I think they mark it about the 33, but all right. If you're coming, this is on your side. If you're going to come get the spot and the flag, don't just throw your flag and don't just drop your flag anywhere. Go get the spot, wherever the ball went out of bounds. Drop your flag on that spot. That way, if something happens, you got to break up a fight, or you've got to do something crazy, you want to go talk to the referee, that flag also represents your spot. So we'll know for penalty enforcement kind of where to go. So in this case, we'll talk, they put the ball on about the 33. So in this case, I mean, they always have 4 options: 5-yard re-kick. They can take the ball 25 yards from the previous spot, from where they kicked off, which would in this case be the 35. They can take the ball at the out-of-bounds spot, or they can take the ball at the succeeding spot, the out-of-bounds spot, plus tack on the 5 yards. So if we mark that 30, if we say we went out at 33, we'll do 33 plus 5. The best thing for them will be at the 38. You know, if it goes out here at 25, obviously they'll either want to re-kick or take it at the 35. But in this case, anytime we get the ball that goes out of bounds, past the 30-yard line up to midfield, we just need to make sure that, do they want to re-kick or do they want the spot plus 5? In this case, that's what they wanted. But also keep in mind, just as a reminder, if the ball goes out on this hash, they take the penalty. That snap needs to come from the closest hash mark. So in this case, if it went out right here, we're going to add 5. It'll be 38 right hash. They don't have a choice. It's not a touchback. It's not anything that would give them a choice. By rule, they have to take it at the right hash. So just keep that in mind, umpires, referees, especially if you put the flag down, you go report, hey, and let the coach know that it's got to be at the right hash. But you go, all right, we're out of bounds right here. Take it 35. Hey, don't forget right hash or left hash or whatever it is. But they do not have that option. So just keep that in mind. We get special enforcement on free kick out of bounds. They do have those options, and we've got to put the ball on whatever the closest hash to wherever it went out of bounds. All right, this play right here obviously falls into the category of kickoffs, but it also falls into the category of wacky plays. Be ready for anything at any time. Don't fall asleep, because that's when they'll get you category. So you see right here, they're kicking from the 35. They're not back here anyway. They're kicking from the 35. Balls on the tee. There's your kicker. Got 5 on each side of them, or at least 4 on each side of them. You'll see the last ball, they just kicked out of bounds, so that's why they're backed up here. So business as usual, they'll probably just spread out and fire another kick deep or little lob wedge or something over to the sideline. But in this case, you'll see, bam, all of a sudden hits it with his back foot, and they get on it. Kicking team does get on it right here. Red team tries to recover, can't quite get to it. Kicking team gets on it, but again, I'll back it up. This is completely legal. I just mentioned the formation. They're all within 5 yards. They've got at least 4 on each side of them. He hits it with his foot. It's the back of his foot, but the whole rule just states that you have to kick it with your foot, which is what he does. Ball goes right at 10 yards. Doesn't matter at this point. They haven't touched it. Red's touched it, so it's free for anybody, and they do get on it. So again, just a good example. Be ready for anything at any time. Hopefully, because we got radios, we're not, if the kicker tells the umpire, hey, we're going to do an onside kick here, the umpire back judging seven's not, doing some silly hand signal that gives it away. We definitely don't want to do that. But if you got radios and they do tell you, all you got to do is, get on it and say heads up. If we're right for a kick and you hear somebody say heads up, it's pretty obvious what that's going to mean. But anyway, they do a good job here. The deep guys come crash, umpire crashes in. You can say he's a little bit quicker because he had some he had prior knowledge of what was going to happen. But either way, good job. We get the call right. So be ready for anything at any time. And I guarantee you, when a couple teams see how that worked and that it did work, you'll see this a couple times during the season. I promise you. All right, another topic we want to go over is whether it be deep guys on scrimmage plays or line guys on reverse mechanics. Give your partner plenty of cushion over there on the sideline. Let them have their spot. Please don't rush them. Guys, if it's not your spot, you're supposed to be backpedaling, keep backpedaling, stay back, observe the action. That way you'll see what we get here. We basically get 2 guys in the same spot, which is not what we need at all. We get good hustle out of the line judge right here. Does a good job, gets to the spot. Unfortunately, we got the deep guy, 2 yards from him waiting on him. If that breaks free, he breaks that last tackle. He's going to be beat to the goal line. And also, it never looks good to have 2 guys standing in one spot. If this guy here comes and takes a cheap shot over here, we may miss it. So again, just back up, give those guys some room, let them work. Don't get beat to the goal line. Same thing running reverse mechanics. If we got a punt, line guys, stay back, don't come rush them. They don't get many spots, so as a deep guy. So when a deep guy does get one, let them have it. But we did notice that a lot this week. So just maintain your cushion, work hard, backpedal, put yourself in a good spot. And if you do that, good things will happen, and you'll see why here in the next play. All right, finally, let's take a look at this play here. This is a good example of why, as a deep guy, hey, backpedaling, get to your spot. Mainly just put yourself in a good position to make a call. Right, wrong, and different. Put yourself in the best position you can. Take your time and make sure you see the whole play. Take your time and rule on it. So we'll let this play out. You'll see it's going to be a deep pass the end zone. Deep guy does a good job of getting to the goal line. Sees it's going to threaten the end line, and then works his way back. So you'll see here, we'll play it twice. Fires downfield, play in the back of the end zone. Deep guy gets there. Bam, we got a touchdown. And we'll let it, I'll go back and we'll let it play through again. We'll kind of pause it and break it down. But just a fantastic job right here. Again, put yourself in a good spot. Sees it's going deep. Move, get to the back line. See, we've got the offense. Possess the ball. He survives the ground. He's real patient, takes his time, goes up, touchdown. That's what we want. That's fantastic. And again, just the importance of, early in the game, late in the game, no matter what it is, don't get lazy. Don't assume anything. Put yourself in the best position to make a call. And this is what happens. You're there. This is the whole reason we do it. For the plays just like this, we're there. We saw it. We nailed it. And just a good one to talk about and a good play to end on. All right, that's it for this week. Hopefully you guys got a little bit, learned something from it. Again, just keep working hard. I know we didn't have any preseason scrimmages. The game I worked, I felt sloppy and I didn't feel as ready for it as I usually do. The team's the same kind of way. A lot of procedure penalties, encroachment, false start, stuff like that. So everybody's just finally starting to knock the rust off and get rolling here. But again, if you got to get back in the mechanics book, do what you got to do, so we can keep rolling from here on out. Got a lot of big games coming up, but just keep working hard. Hold yourself accountable. Hold your crew accountable for things. If you have any questions or you get a film, always ask the coach for the film. Hopefully, get it to you. If you ever have any questions, ask any of us on the training association. We'll be happy to help. We'll grade your film if you want us to. We'll just give you some notes, whatever you want. Just feel free to reach out to us at any time. We just want everybody to get better. I know it may take a few weeks before we feel comfortable, and that's fine. But again, just keep working hard. Get together as a crew. Know where you're going, how you're traveling. Hold each other accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Be prepared. Stay focused, and above all, please, 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 stay safe. Thank y'all. Have a great week.